Hey everyone, good afternoon. So how do we attract the right clients and the best projects? Now, I'm sure if you've been in business for a while, you'd know that there's a big difference between great clients and clients. They're the ones that aren't the right ones. They can be really time consuming. They can be high maintenance. They can, really make your working life or your business not as enjoyable as those clients that are dream clients. Now, I think that, we could talk all about how to identify your ideal client, but that's not what I'm going to talk about today because I talk about it a lot. You can go and look at lots of my other lives where I'm talking all about your ideal client. This is really more about how you're presenting to the market and what sort of work you are taking. Now, what I see a lot of women doing, especially when we have a service-based business, is that we start a business and then when we get somebody inquiring, you kind of feel obliged to take them on as a client. It's really, really natural to want to do that because I guess we all want to help people. We all love being able to help people. And when there's somebody there in front of you, literally with their hand out saying, I want to pay you to do this for me, it feels really weird to think of saying no, to think of saying, actually, yeah, I don't want to do that. Or, hey, maybe somebody else would be a better fit for you. It does. It feels strange and I can completely understand that. But it's actually what you really need to start thinking about doing. If you want to have a profitable, enjoyable business that you love working in every day, you are totally able to choose your own client, and I highly recommend that you do. It would be like if you're not choosing your clients, it's like going into, say, a restaurant, sitting down for a meal, and then asking the waiter to bring you some food and not saying what it is that you actually want. And then you just get whatever you're given, and you're like, okay, yep, well, I'll eat this because I've been given it. But surely you want the thing on the menu that's really going to light you up, that you absolutely love, that is the best experience and is going to make you feel really happy about eating it. Now, I know we're talking about business here and you're thinking, yes, but if I've got someone who's giving me some money, I've got a business needs to make money, then I should take on those clients. But let's just think for a minute about what this really means and what's actually happening. So when you're sitting back and letting the market kind of come to you and say, well, I want you to do this for me, you're really handing over power and control to your market of what it is that you do in terms of your service, how much you're charged or pay, because they are probably shopping around and they're asking different people for prices. So you're going into a price competitive position, which, as we all know, the only winner ever in those sort of situations is the buyer. The other thing is that you're not being able to work on something where you're delivering your best value. So you're letting the market sort of really control your business. And that means that you're stepping back on the back foot, acting a bit like an employee, or as I like to call it in a business sense, you're really in the freelancer zone because you're hiring out your time for an output. But when you can shift that and actually take the lead on what it is that you want to be working on day in, day out, what is it that you are the best at, that you give really great value for and that you love doing, which, by the way, is also what you can charge your premium rates for because of the value that you're giving. When you're doing that day in, day out and working with the best clients because you're really clear about who it is that you want to work with and who it is that you don't want to work with, imagine the change in your business. It can go from, I've had clients who've had 500% increases in their profit simply from changing their strategy and not just working with anyone, but working with on the projects that they know are going to deliver to their budget, their revenue target that they want to meet, because they've got finite time. If you're spending your time working on some low-level, low-paid jobs because they've just come across your door and you don't want to say no to someone, or you haven't even thought of saying no, then you're using that time that you could have been spending on a project that is of much higher value and working with a client who you absolutely love to work with. So I'm sure that is making a lot of sense to you. And, this is something that I love to share because just helping you think about your business differently, where you can actually take the lead on this. You can be specific about who it is that you want to attract. And trust me, when you are specific about what it is and you're creating that authority around what you do in that space, you will be attracting the right clients to you and the right projects as well. Why work on something that does not bring you joy? There's so many opportunities out there. If you're just more clear about what it is that you're wanting to attract, you can fill your business and your books with the stuff that is the best for you and that you can earn the highest amount for. Leave the freelancer lifestyle for freelancers out there. You don't need to be doing that. You can step into your power as the CEO of your business and really, create your own space in the market. Create a reputation, create a name for yourself. Be the go-to person in your niche, because you're really there, you're in your element. You absolutely love what you're doing. And it's not hard to do. It's really about, aligning your strategy together. So there are 7 key elements of a marketing strategy, which is what I teach in my Business Jam program. So I can't go into all 7 today because each one of them, they're deep. We do a lot of discussion. When I run my live series of Business Jam, we do it over 10 weeks because it takes a lot of time to get through the content and to really think about it. These are strategic elements. So it's not something that's done in a moment or in an instant. It does take a little bit of time. However, you don't need to do all 7 before you start seeing results. Literally, you will start seeing them after the first 1 or 2, and actually even just starting to think about your business as a CEO instead of as an employee or as a freelancer. So let's get out of freelancer zone and think, well, what can you do today where you could be clearer about what it is that you want to attract? What sort of work are you doing now that you want more of? What work are you doing now that you don't want more of? If you don't want more of it, don't attract it. Don't say yes to it. Feel empowered to say no or to refer somebody on to somebody else. So when you're doing that, you're creating space for the right work to come into you. And that's really my tips for today. So if you have any questions, wanted to shoot me a question, please feel free to. And otherwise, I will talk to you next week. Enjoy. Oh, thank you. Thanks. I really appreciate your comment. Yeah, totally agree. I hope that's been helpful, and I'd love to hear your experiences as well. If you've got any of your own or any tips that you'd like to add. I don't plan these. I just have been feeling this today, so I thought I'd jump on a live and just share my thoughts with you. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. And whoops, there goes my fat thumb. I'll see you soon. Bye.